Kia ora koutou, Reese from QuickSense here, and today we're going to be looking at simple interest. Now, interest is either the cost or the gains of borrowing or investing your money. So we're either going to be paying it or we're going to be accumulating it. Now, Frank here is investing, so he's going to be gaining money. And what he does is he puts $600 in a bank or somewhere for 12 months at 2% interest. Now, the 2%, what it doesn't say, well, because it doesn't say, we're going to have to assume that it is 2% PA. PA is per annum, and annum is per year. That's what that means. It's like anniversary. So 2% per year, $600. So, well, the question I'm going to immediately, or the way I want to solve this is using percentages. So how do I find 2% of 600? Well, I multiply it by 2% as a decimal, which is 12. 1% is 6 times 2 is 12. So I kind of already know the answer, right? The interest gain is going to be 12, which is probably not going to help him buy a phone. But for those harder questions, there's actually a formula for this. And the formula is interest gained equal to the principal times the rate of interest over the time, all divided by 100. So I is the interest gained. P is the principal, so the amount of money that I start with. R is the interest rate, so how quickly is it either increasing or decreasing. T is the time, and that's relative to the interest rate. So sometimes you might have per month or per year, so you have to keep that in mind. So let's start plugging or substituting numbers into this. So the I is what we don't know, but the principal is 600. The rate is 2, and the time is 1, right? 12 months. Okay, so 12 out of 12 is 1. All over 100. 600 times 2, 1200 times 1, well, that's 1200 over 100. We've got a nice little trick for this where we can cancel out the zeros, and we end up with 12. Now, if you want to think about why these two things are related, I would recommend you try and find how they are the same thing. How do we end up at the same number using two seemingly different methods? Now, in this next question, things are a little bit more complicated. It's not a matter of simply asking how much interest do I earn, but we're asking what is the annual rate of interest required to purchase the mega yacht. So let's start off with our formula. I equals P times R times T over 100. So remember, the I is the interest I need to accumulate. So for these guys, they are starting off with 400, so that's going to be their principal. Let's actually get that down there. 400. And they're trying to get to 600. So they need an increase of 200, well, million, right? But we're going to talk in terms of millions for this. So the next one is the R, which is actually what we need to find out, right? We want to calculate the annual rate, so we don't know that yet. T, well, they want to purchase the mega yacht in the next 4 months, right? So as a fraction of a year, what is 4 months? 4 months out of 12 months. Well, we can think of that as 4 over 12, 1 over 3, or 0.3 recurring. I'm going to think of it like this, just for simplicity. So let's plug all of these numbers into our formula and see what we end up with. At this point, we're going to need to do some simplifying and rearranging to get that r by itself. So the first thing I see is that 400 divided by 100 is 4. So I can get rid of that 100 on the bottom straight away. So 4r, and then I've got this third here. Okay, so 4 times a third is going to be 4 thirds r to 100. Let's move this over here. So how do I get r by itself? Well, I have to divide both sides by 4 over 3. And we remember from multiplying and dividing by fractions that 200 divided by 4 over 3 is the same thing as 200 times 3 over 4, which is equal to r. So now I'm going to convert this into decimal so that I can use the calculator. 3 divided by 4, 0.75 equals r. Which is 150. So the annual rate of interest has to be 150% per annum. And that's our answer.